Hi guys, Daniel Albarico speaking. This video I will show you my process on creating composites. I will also teach you some techniques you may not have heard of that can be very helpful for your future projects. Please excuse the background noises and disclaimer lang din. My baby did cry in the middle of this tutorial, so please forgive me. And without further ado, let's go ahead and start creating this project. So here, you create a new document. So gawa kayo dito sa width, it's going to be 2,500 and height 3,000 pixels. And resolution, just leave it at a default 300 resolution. And then choose pixels, RGB mode, 8-bit, and make sure naka-sRGB yan. And just click create. I already have mine, so I will delete this extra layer. And now, meron akong background layer. Now, look for this image right here. By the way, after this video, I'll be renaming the layers, but you should know what you would pick. Now, we'll have this as our background first. Ito, let's drag it sa ating canvas. And it's loading, okay? And so let's resize this. Okay, hold the Alt key, click from here, and just resize it like so. And then hit enter to commit. Ayan. Now, you may want to have different position for the background natin. Siguro eto. Okay, how about this one? Ayan. So meron na tayong background. Let's name this as background 1. And then add pa tayo ng isa, which is going to be this wave. And let's put it here. And actually, it won't matter anong position kasi we are going to blur this out lang din naman. So, yun. We are just going to blur this out. Alright. Now, medyo rough siya dito. Okay? Medyo rough siya. So, probably, let's create a mask. And let's create a mask. Add a layer mask. Grab your brush tool. Make sure it's black. Flow, probably have 15% of flow. And make sure na naka-airbrush. Actually, hindi naman to required. Basta makuha lang natin yung gusto nating result. So let's increase the brush size a little bit bigger and also decrease the hardness. Then we are going to brush a little bit here and we should see na it's slowly siyang nawawala yung harshness or yung transition between the photo. And then pwede na nating paliitin yung ating brush and let's take it from here. Ayan. Now, we are seeing some problem here. Don't worry. We are just going to brush that with a small brush and it's going to be white. Okay, white brush. Make sure you are selecting the layer mask and let's just brush that with white. There. Ayan. Now, we are going to blur this out. So go to filter and then blur and then Gaussian blur. And maybe let's have it, I think, ganito. What do you think? All right, let's click OK. And then we are to put our etong shell na to. So, for your convenience, I already created a transparent. Okay, transparent. So, you just drag and drop na lang to dito. Ayan, drag and drop. So, maybe let's place it around, how about dito? No. So, maybe let's resize it even more so. Or, okay. Actually, subjective kasi to. And depende sa inyo kung what's going to be the placement. And so I just think na we need some clouds here, don't you think? Let's put some clouds first. We have here number 3. Let's put it sa ating canvas. And how about there? And then let's put it below sa ating transparent na shell. Oh, by the way, let's rename this our layer shell to something that you like. Okay. Ayan. So, what we're going to do next is we are going to add a layer mask for this sky. Add a layer mask and let's just brush the edges with black. Okay? Let's just brush it with black. Ayan. Para lang na kumbaga, parang may transition siya, no? Okay? Ayan. Let's just brush it like so. Okay? Ayan. And maybe a little bit of adjustment here. Maybe let's brush this with white. And okay, by the way, this is not a masking na lesson, no? So, ayan. What else? Maybe, how about, let's make the clouds even more bigger. Okay. And then, here. How about we add a layer mask dito or i-show natin to dito. Okay? Ayan. We don't have to worry about here. Maybe we will just be adding some smoke effects or cloud effects. But let's see what we can do. Ayan, so meron na tayong shell and parang something's off, no? Para siyang nakalutang. It doesn't look realistic. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a shadow. So grab your shell. Okay, oh, by the way, let me just make it bigger para makita nyo. Ayan. My shell na layer, I will add a new layer below, which is I will hold the control key and click on the new layer to add a blank layer underneath yung sinelect natin. And then we can just add a brush. Now, our foreground color is telling us that we are going to brush with white. So let's make it black and white or default. Set natin to default. Press letter D and then just black lang. And opacity, maybe let's take it to probably mga 20%. 20 to 19%. Okay. And just slowly brush. Okay. You may want to make your brush a little bit smaller. So, and we are just pretty much creating a fake shadow around this area. Ayan. Okay. There. Now, let's add some more para maging mukhang realistic siya. Yan. Okay. Now, maybe let's add even more. Okay. Ayan. There. And you know what? Kasi parang concentrated lang dito yung shadow. Let's try na may shadow din dito. And to do that, let's just make our brush bigger. A little bit bigger. And then just try to brush around these areas right here. Okay? Ayan. And then, if you notice, meron tayong problem dito kasi we brushed black dito, no? So, let's erase that. Grab your eraser tool and then just erase those areas around there. Okay? I think that's good enough, don't you think? And let's put our subject. And I already created a blank or transparent now. So you can just drag and drop this image of this girl. So let's drag and drop. And as you can see, nasa likod siya ng shell. But you know naman siguro how layer works here in Photoshop. So let's just put it above our shell. And then we are going to resize her a little bit lang. About here. Okay, so in reality, um, yung base, no? Yung base ng shell is around here na area. So if we're going to put her feet dito, para na siyang nakalutang. So, kumbaga, let's put it where the base, no? Yung base ng shell. And just hit enter. Oops, hit enter. And then we are going to mask out this area. So to do that, let's turn off muna tong layer ng babaeng to. Let's turn that off. And then gagawin natin is I'll grab my quick selection tool and I'll select the shell, and then I will just make a selection here. And then I can turn it back on. Now I will go ahead and add a layer mask. So when I add a layer mask, this is what will happen. It will only show where we created our selection. Now to do the opposite, okay, Control Z to go back. I will instead hold the Alt key or Option key and then click on the layer mask. There, right? So opposite siya. Now we can just brush the rest, okay, ito, with black. Okay, increase the opacity, change it into black, and basically brush lang tayo ng black around this area. And okay, now it's good looking. What else should we do? Let's add more character sa poster na to. How about we add this flower, no? Itong flower na to. Let's put it here and just basically delete the unnecessary parts of this flower. Now, I don't have to worry about anything at all. Let me just grab my eraser tool. Actually, the magic eraser tool. And I will rasterize this. Rasterize ko muna to. Rasterize, and then tolerance ko is super aggressive. So let me just try. How about 23? And I'll click and everything's gone. Right? Just how we want it. Now we can probably put our flower around here. Okay. Or maybe let's lagay natin siya dito. And maybe let's rotate it. Rotate. Okay. How about that? Okay. If you're satisfied, just hit enter. Or maybe let's make it a little bit smaller. All right. How about that? Hit enter. Now, let's put it behind this lady. So, we are going to put this flower. Let's rename this flower muna. Then, let's put it behind the lady. And we have a problem around here because it's still showing. So, if you remember, ginawa natin kanina is we make a selection dito sa shell, right? And then, we added a layer mask. So, yun din yung gagawin natin. Let's turn off the lady first and turn off this flower. And let's go ahead and select the shell and create another selection. Ayan. I think that's fine. Now let's turn on the flower, and then what we'll do is we're going to add you guessed it right, add a layer mask. So before adding a layer mask, hold the Alt key and click there. Okay, and so I think we're good. And I actually don't like na naka-ponytail siya. So I also have a photo of a girl dito. So let's use her hair para sa babaeng to. So to do that, let's just drag and drop it here. Yan, sobrang laki niya, but it's okay. And right there. Okay, so basically, we are just going to make an impression lang na this is her hair. right? Okay. I don't mind in this area. I'm just looking here. And let's check. How about ganito? And yeah. Okay. Now, we have a problem kasi meron siyang background, no? So, let's rename this as fake hair. So what we'll do is we are going to first rasterize this and then convert it back to a smart object. Why? No? Why? Because if you remember smart objects, this is just a representation. Where do you think is the original content is placed of this smart object? It's not in this document. It's in this folder, and this is outside jurisdiction ni Photoshop. But actually, that's the explanation lang. So we are going to rasterize this, and we are going to make this photo be part of this document as a smart object. But you don't have to remember that. You don't have to know that to complete this poster. No. So just a quick tip lang. So let's convert it back to a smart object. Now we can double click and we can edit this image already. Now, um, here's what we're going to do. Let's go ahead and go to channels. And this is how we make a selection using alpha channels or channels. Make a selection using channels. So you go ahead and, by the way, go to edit, go to preferences, and then go to interface. And you should see here, show channels in color. And we don't want that. We just want black and white. And it will make sense later on. So just turn this off. Okay? Turn that off. And you click OK. Now, we have here control 2, control 3, control 4, control 5. If you do that, it will only show that specific channel, right? Now, channels are actually the mode, okay? The what color space or color mode this document is using. So we have two common color modes. We have RGB and CMYK, but today we are just going to tackle about RGB. So RGB, that color mode is used, okay, is used for digital imagery or visuals like yung screen natin, yung pixels natin uses RGB. But I don't want to make this poster making super long, no? So just follow me around. Maybe I'll have another explanation about what we're doing. So right now, what we're looking as, we want um, to emphasize the specific color from the channel kung saan mas na-emphasize yung color, na-emphasize yung um, hair. To do that, let's just turn all everything off except for red. And let's see. So yung goal natin ngayon is whichever is black or concentrated in black, that means na there's no yan. And let's just choose a blue. Okay. And then what we'll do is pretty much make a selection out of it. So hold the control key and click. And basically we just created a selection for this blue. And then we are going to add a layer mask. So forget channels, go back to layers, and then just add a layer mask. And kabaliktaran yung nangyari. So we are going to invert this. Control I to invert. Now we have this girl right here. What we're going to do is we are going to delete these background. To do that, just grab your eraser tool and then background eraser tool. Make sure you're selecting the right layer. And for your reference, you may need to add a background muna. Gawa tayo ng solid color. And what about we add gray or maybe red, dark red, and then let's put it below this layer so we could easily see. And maybe not red, maybe something else, maybe green or blue. Okay, let's have blue. Then click OK. Now, grab your background eraser tool, select the fake hair na layer, and then make sure you are selecting sampling continuous, and it should be discontinuous. And maybe set the tolerance to about 20%. Now, let's go ahead and click, 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 or Control Z, you can just make it a little bit bigger and then just drag your mouse around this area. Okay, and there, and and maybe around here. This is actually a destructive method, but this works kasi you just need to be careful. Okay, you just need to be careful because when we save this, there's no turning back. Okay, we have to repeat the steps again. Now, and maybe switch from the background eraser tool to eraser tool and erase parts here. Okay, erase the parts here and there and okay. You just want to make sure na everything is erased in this area. And maybe let's erase this then. So grab your background eraser tool and click. And you don't have to worry about this area. We are going to mask that out later on. Now, let's turn off the blue na color fill natin. And let's go ahead and click file and then save. And once done, let's close this and we should see na we just created a what? A very good selection. Do you think? Do you think so? Maybe let's rotate this a little bit around here para matabunan tong imperfection na to. So, meron tayong cover up, no? Cover up lang natin 'yan. Ayan. And there. And basically, grab your lasso tool and make a selection around this area. Okay, so we are going to mask out this part of this fake hair. Now, to do that, hold the Alt key and click the layer mask or add layer mask. Now it's gone, right? Now, it seems like para pa rin siyang fake. So maybe let's move it around here, okay? And rotate it. Now again, this is very subjective, so depends on you. Depends on you, okay? And now that we've done that, let's go ahead and put something like these mga anong tawag ito, mga tela no, mga fabrics. And basically, let's put it on top. And what we're going to do is ganito na lang. Click, hold, and drag it dito sa as a new layer. And what we are going to do is we are going to make a selection of this particular na fabric, and then hold control and then letter X, and then let's just paste it here. Control T to resize. And where do you think we should put this? Okay, should we put it here? maybe around, maybe around here, maybe around here. Hit enter, and then let's just delete this white background. Grab your magic eraser tool, and maybe you want to play around with tolerance so you don't damage everything sa fabric. So just erase that white. Okay, and meron tayong nakikita mga white na um, remnants na or imperfection, but that's okay. We are just going to make red into white. Go to um, let's go ahead and go to image, and then go to adjustments, and then um, let's go ahead and where is the desaturate? Okay, desaturate, and so it's desaturated already. Let's go ahead and go to um, curves, and make sure na we add a clipping mask to this specific na tela. So what we're going to do is we go ahead and make um, dark bright, and to do that, just click this and drag it to the left, and there. So I'm really sorry if you're hearing my kid. She's a very beautiful kid that I have, and please excuse her na lang. Okay, so maybe I'll add some background music, and hopefully it's not that distracting. Now, oops, grab your move tool, and maybe I'll put the tela dito na part. And what about that? Okay. Now, if you notice, medyo bright yung highlight niya. So, gagawin natin is select the curves adjustment layer, and drag this line ever so slightly below. Or you can just grab this hand or sampling, and then basically click, hold, and drag it down to lower the highlight. Does it look good? No? Maybe a little bit more adjustment. Okay. Okay. And yes, let's add a little bit more adjustment. And yeah. And let's put this or let's create a group out of this. Or yeah, let's make a group out of this. So Control G to group that, and let's rename this as fabrics. Fabrics, and let's put this lady on top or above this layer. So put it here, and so natabunan na yung um, okay. I don't think bagay siya dito, guys. How about we put it around here? Okay, around here. And okay, now let's add more fabric, and I just have one in mind. What about this? Make a selection, and then Control X or Command X, and then just basically paste it there. Control Z muna tayo. Okay, paste it above this curves adjustment layer muna. Control T, and lower it down. And ito yung gagawin natin. This is very important. First, let's delete these whites. Grab your magic eraser tool, click to delete those, and this is very important. Okay, you need to put your curves adjustment layer on top of the fabrics na folder. Okay, don't worry about what just happened. So we are going to clip this to this layer. So to do that, right click on this fabric, and then create clipping mask, Okay, so it will only affect whatever is inside this fabric. Okay, now we are going to make this unsaturated. So let's go to image, let's go to adjustments, and then desaturate. And see, it now becomes white. And maybe not the white that we are looking for. Kasi sobra siyang, meron siyang mga blacks kasi, no? So, let's go to image, adjustment, and then probably levels. Let's try. Let's try. Then, and ever so slightly lang. Click OK. And what about if we put this fabric around here? Yeah. No, maybe around here. Just to add some character lang. Yeah. Okay. Now let's erase this part kasi masakit siya sa mata. To do that, let's just add a layer mask on the folder itself. Add a layer mask. Grab your brush tool and basically just brush that with black. And what else can we do? Let's add more effects, or shall I say mga elements. Okay, before I drop it there, maybe I want to put it as a different image. And I'll close this muna. And what I'll basically do is grab my eraser tool and just click to delete those. Now I can just click, hold, and drag it and paste it here. And maybe resize it a little bit. And para lang and hit enter and then put it below the shell. Okay, below the shell. Yeah. Okay, and maybe let's add more effects. And what about if we add this asset? Okay, oops, mali. Click, hold, and drag, and I'll make it. I'll open it in another document, and basically still grab my eraser tool and just delete those areas that I don't want to be part of the team. Okay, so by the way, I'm selecting tolerance of 16, and that's just it. And let me just make sure I've deleted everything na, no. So I would know na wala na mga extra pixels dyan. I'll make a solid color. I'll make it black and I'll put it below that layer. And you see, meron pang mga remnants and we don't want that. So let's erase those. Okay, so grab your eraser tool this time and maybe make it hard. Okay, set the hardness to hard. And just be very careful not to touch those leaf. Okay, and then just hold the shift key and click here. And now you don't have to worry about so much white kasi bright naman din yung background natin, no? So it's okay. Now itong gagawin mo, very quick tip lang is to make a selection of this leaf. Okay, make a selection of this leaf and just invert the selections. Go to select and then inverse. So now we are selecting outside. Okay, outside. So grab your brush tool and basically just erase those remnants. Okay, see, I don't really mind these kasi medyo bright naman yung background natin. Okay, hold the shift key and click here. And erase. Okay. Now, delete natin tong color fill and just select everything here sa canvas mo. Make a selection or Control A to make a selection of everything, or you can just click, hold and drag this layer and put it dito. And gagawin lang natin guys is we are going to resize it first. And let's see where this fits. How about around here? Okay. Ito gagawin ko. Um, all right. And so we're good with that. And basically, erase natin tong part na to because we probably won't need this. But just in case we will be needing this part of this image, just in case lang, no? Instead of erasing that, let's just add a layer mask. Hold the Alt key and click on the layer mask. Ayan. And, okay. So, I want to make an impression na yung leaf na to is, or, ano, in front of this shell. So, to do that, we need to select or make a selection here first now, and then we're going to mask out or erase this shell part ng shell dito. So the easiest way to do that guys is to just hold the control key and select the leaf. Okay, ito. So it automatically selected all the pixels of this layer, so you don't have to worry about making a selection now. So now that we have a selection, grab your shell na layer and basically just we are just going to brush that with black, but we don't have any layer mask yet. So before we do anything else, no, control D muna tayo, deselect. Let's add muna layer mask. Okay, and then again hold the control key and click on this leaf. Okay, itong leaf na to, itong layer 5 natin. Grab your brush tool and just brush that with black. Okay, and control D to deselect, and just like that. All right, now what else can we add? I downloaded a lot of ano kasi assets dito, no, so maybe we'll add a little bit more, maybe, just maybe. How about we add one more, or let's just duplicate this. How about that? Okay, let's just duplicate this. Control J, Control T, and just move it anywhere. How about dito na area or na part? Okay, you hit enter, and likewise gagawin lang natin is to hold the control key and click, and basically gagawin ko is I want to show the leaf here. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll select or click the layer mask of the shell, and then grab my brush tool and then just basically brush this with black, and control D to deselect. And what else? Okay, again I'll hold the control key and click on my layer 5 copy, and ang gagawin ko this time is I will make an impression that the leaf is nasa harapan ng shell. So probably I'll delete some of the pixels dito na part. Okay, pero parang hindi siya bagay, no, so maybe let's leave it as it is na lang muna dito siguro. Let's revert what we've done. Let's grab our white brush, let's just paint this with white, and let's just stop here. Ayan. Okay, now we have that. And what else can we do with this image. Um, let's see. How about we add even more leaf? Or how about let's add muna shadows, no? Shadows. Let's add some shadows. To do that, let's grab this leaf right here. Okay. So this leaf is here. So I'll rename this as left leaf, and the one on the right is right leaf. And gawin natin guys is we're going to make a fake shadow. Okay, similarly sa ginawa natin dito. So let's make a fake shadow, and to do that, let's add a new layer. Hold the control key and click on the new layer. Okay, and let's name this as fake shadow leaf, left leaf. Yan. Or fake shadow leaf na lang guys. Fake shadow leaf. Okay. Then grab your brush tool and then maybe opacity again mga 19 or 20%. Okay, 20%, and just add a um, brush around here, around this area. And you see, it's not painting anything at all. Why is that? It is because this layer is below the shell. So we would not see that, no? Kasi it's behind the shell. So we're going to, let's put it above the shell pala, okay? Sorry about that. Nagkakamali din tayo, right? And we just need to be very careful. Let's just brush this with black around here. Now, don't worry about the leaf being brushed in as well, okay? Don't worry about that. We just have something, a trick, no, for that, okay? Here's what we're going to do. Hold the control key and click on the left leaf to select the pixels of that layer, and basically make sure that you are selecting the fake shadow leaf, and just grab your eraser tool and just erase that. Okay, yeah, now we still have the what, the shadow, but we are seeing some problems around this area, no, but it's okay. How about we grab some help sa smudge tool natin. Okay, grab your smudge tool and maybe set the strength to around 15 to 17, and basically just smudge the whites. Ayan. Just a little bit na ma-hide lang siya. Okay? Ayan. Right there. Now, do you think this is somehow, what do you call that? Realistic? I don't think so. Um, okay. We don't have to worry about that for now. What we're going to do is we are going to add shadow here as well. Now, let's grab our brush tool and just basically brush this area. Now, if you notice, okay, this is the perspective now. So the leaf is almost touching, or I think it's already touching the shell. So we have to make a darker shadow around this area. Okay, you don't have to worry about, okay, about um ayan. I forget what I'm trying to say. Ayan. So let's just add that there. Okay? Ayan. Now don't worry about rough siya. It's okay. Okay, it's really okay. Ayan. Now what we're going to do is we are going to still select the pixels of this leaf. The name of this leaf is, I have it as right leaf, so I'll hold the control key and click. Basically, I'll grab my eraser tool, select the fake shadow leaf, just maybe make it a little bit softer, and I'll just erase this. area. Ayan. Now, if you notice, merong light dito. So, probably, soft tong light na to dito. Right? So, let's decrease the opacity of our eraser tool. Increase the size. And just start brushing here with our eraser tool. Okay? Maybe even more dito. Ayan. You see where this is going? Right? Now, it doesn't look realistic. Let's make it even smaller. So, let's grab our brush tool. Okay? Yeah. Now, it's too dark. So, maybe we need to reduce the opacity of this layer. Just like so. And I think we're doing just fine. And let's finally add this star right here. So click, hold, and drag and put it here. And gagawin lang natin guys is we are going to make it a little bit smaller. Okay. And put it there. And just slightly adjust maybe. Okay. And where do we think the shadow should be? Kasi our shadows are soft, no? But I think we're doing fine. Just hit enter. And basically just grab your lasso tool and let's try making a rough selection of this star and just add a layer mask and yung star natin. And here's what we're going to do. Let's grab our brush tool and let's make it soft brush. Okay, make the hardness soft and gagawin natin is okay, we're going to add or to brush out, so make it black and maybe the opacity a little bit more, so okay, 75 I think. Then just brush the details out. Now make the opacity 100%. Yeah. Okay. Before I continue, I want to kumbaga I want the star or itong sand na to blend with the sand na nandito, no? So, I'll probably go ahead and go to image and then adjustment and then I'll try muna levels and let's start from there. So, I'll make the midtones a little bit brighter and the highlights as well. Okay? Ayan lang siguro muna and I'll click OK. And I will then try to go to image and then calculations and then layer. Let's try background 1 and background, oh no, not anymore. I changed my mind. Instead of doing calculations, let's go ahead to image and then adjustments and then hue and saturation. How about that? Okay. And this time, what I'll do is I'll click this picker and then I'll click on that. I'll just change the color into something else. I'll click OK. Now you see, I don't really mind this much because it's leaving an impression lang naman na it is a shadow. So I'll grab my brush tool again. So what I'll do is I will brush this with black, this area. Okay. And but surely, no, surely that somehow that color correction um, did really help us then. So we just need to be very, very patient for this to work. And okay, okay, yeah. Now, what else? What else should we do? Should we really remove the shadow here? Because it's too rough, no? It's too rough. Okay. You know what? I changed my mind. How about if we just make a selection of the star? Let's try. Okay. Grab your brush tool, Shift Control I, and brush that with black. Why did we do that? It's because we want to create our own soft na shadow. Kasi that shadow is too harsh, right? It's too harsh. So we want to create our own shadow. We want a shadow just like this. So let's add a brush of this fake shadow leaf, okay? Or maybe let's create another one and let's shadow star and just brush something here with black, okay? Black. And now grab your eraser tool and just brush those that we don't need. So opacity is 100% of our eraser tool. Set it to 100%. Then just brush those out. And then, again, kaya nga natin in-erase yun kasi harsh, diba? So, what we're going to do is we're going to, select the shadow star and then grab the opacity to a little bit downwards. And then just go to filter and then Gaussian blur. And there. Maybe reduce the opacity a little bit, even more so. Yeah. Okay. Now we just have a start. And what else should we add? Um, do you think we are good to go? Do you think so? Is there something left for us to do? How about we add some petals? Because meron tayong petals now. So let's add this petal right here. And basically, ang gagawin lang natin guys is we are just going to erase the white background. Grab your eraser tool, set it into magic eraser tool, And don't worry about making this as a raster image. Okay, you click OK and erase. Yan. Now, ang gagawin lang natin is we are just to ano, um, basically grab your mask tool and just brush everything with black except for some few petals. Okay, like itong mga petals na to. And okay, there. And let's duplicate this. Hold the Alt key and click, hold and drag to duplicate. And there, hit enter. Then just brush this with black again. Okay, the things that we don't need, subpetals. Okay, yan. Now, ang gagawin natin guys is we are going to um, pretty much convert each of them as a smart object. And here's why. Okay, because we want to add a filter and we don't want to be we don't want it to um, okay, I think not blur, maybe let's add some, I mean not Gaussian blur, maybe let's add a motion blur. Okay, just a motion blur. And kumbaga it's moving, no, they are moving so fast there, going to that area. Just click OK. And dito then let's add another motion blur. And let's switch the motion to going that area. Okay. You click OK. Now they are moving too fast and we don't want that impression. No? Luckily, we have these petals converted into smart object. And if it is a smart object kasi diba, remember when you add a filter meron tayong layer mask. So select the layer mask of that specific layer, brush tool, and brush those that we don't want to be blurred with black. Yeah. Okay. So, kumbaga parang, okay, some are moving fast, some are still, no? Yeah. Okay. I changed my mind. I will make just some of them, just some of them as moving. Okay. How about that? Yeah. Now, these very petals right here are actually optional. You don't need to have the petal effects. Optional lang siya. If you think that helps the poster, great. If not, you can choose not to have these petals. Okay. Now, I will surely add another layer mask and just brush out what I don't need. Kasi medyo distracting siya guys, no? Medyo distracting siya. So, maybe I'll erase some of them. Distracting. Yeah. And what else? What else can we possibly add? How about we add a filter? A filter. Yes, let's add some filter of this girl. Okay, of this girl. Itong babaeng to. I'll go to filter and then I'll grab camera raw filter and then just basically change some of the things, like make a clarity, more clarity and vibrance for this girl. And you know what I'll do is I'll change the texture a little bit para yung temperature niya pala. Okay, and also the reds and oranges. So I'll make more. And so I actually don't know what I'm doing right now. I'm just looking at it and trying to find whatever effect that I can come up with. And I'll add some green, just a little bit, and click OK. There. So that was this is the before, this is the after. Okay. So meron talagang difference, no. Now, maybe I don't want to add any more effect kasi baka makasira lang siya. Maybe I will check na lang siguro yung mga background natin. So I don't want this. So I will look for this layer, which is this layer 4. I'll add a layer mask and just brush that with black. Okay? Para kasi siyang masakit siya sa mata. Okay? If you know what I mean. And here and here. Pero parang may kulang dito kasi. So what could we possibly add here? I don't think we have to add anything else anymore. Right? Okay. Now, what we're going to do is to make a selection of everything. And then go to edit and then copy merge. What it will do is it will copy everything in this canvas. Hindi kailangan natin mag-select ng layer dito. So, kumbaga, what we see is what we copy. Okay, copy merge. And then you're going to click on this, the very top layer. Then let's go ahead and Control V to paste it. Okay, so now we have this layer, no? Itong new layer natin. So we are going to convert that into smart object. And then let's go to filter. And then again, camera raw filter. And we'll have our post processing here. And you guys play around for whatever you see is applicable sa taste niya. Okay? And okay. And I'll add some green. Okay. Really love the green effect, pero that's too much. Okay. Just a tiny little bit lang naman. And then I will add a vignette. Okay. Now click OK, and this is now the final output. And I will add some text, and I'll name this as, or I'll just um, paste or um, put my logo. No, I'll put my logo, which is this one right here. I'll add some color overlay and I'll make it white. Now, you guys play around with whatever you wanna type in here. But if you don't want to put something here, it's fine. Um, but that's just it now. So this is the process of making a poster photo manipulation, and I hope you enjoy it. If you have any question, don't hesitate to comment down, and all the resources are actually available sa video na to. Okay, nandun na yun sa description. So, see you in the next video, guys. Thank you so much for watching.